Hey you guys, welcome to today's Love Nest. We are spoiled. We have two very hot beauty fashion vloggers. I love you. It's been so long.
I know, I miss you. I'm just gonna give you a
We're gonna air hug. You guys know Michelle. She was on the Mom's View.
Yes.
So you guys are best friends, right?
Yes. Yeah. We ended up going to fashion school together, and then we bumped into each other in the elevator, and then we met each other.
Yeah.
And then we finally had a class together, and then we've just been best friends ever since, right?
That's awesome. And so you both have channels. Tell us about your channels.
Well, mine, you know, Bella Michelle,
Yes.
fashion. I do it yourself.
I love your DIY.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love them because I feel like I can do them. I am not crafty,
Yeah.
but you make things look like easy. I'm like, okay, I could try it. I could probably do that.
Exactly.
And your channel is that you do fashion and
It's mainly fashion. I'm starting to get into like hair, but fashion's like my favorite thing to do.
awesome. We're gonna have you guys back. We should do some styling.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
We are gonna kick off the show with a Twitter question. From Jo Josette. She asks, teen pregnancy or young marriages, something dealing with teenagers and dating. She wants us to talk on those, I guess. Well, I'm not a teenager and I am not pregnant, dang it. But I was pregnant when I was 19, so I was considered a teenager. What are your thoughts and feelings about teen pregnancy? You are a young mom.
I was, but not that young. I was 20, well, I guess I was young, 22.
Yeah, that's young.
That's young,
But that's
right?
Yeah, you're out of your teens.
Right. But my mom and my sister both were at 17.
Right.
You know, when they got pregnant. So it's hard. I remember seeing my sister go through it.
Yeah.
And I was 13 at the time, seeing her go through it. So it's difficult to see because she was just struggling, you know.
Right, right.
Once I passed 17, I was like, yes, you know, I made it past the
I'm not going to be cast for MTV 16 and pregnant. I
Right.
got this.
I felt like I was 16 and pregnant, and I was 23, okay?
Oh,
And
so you're a mom too?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Mom
High fives
clap.
to mom.
Yeah.
Right, my son's 2.
Oh,
So when I got pregnant, I like literally got obsessed with Teen Mom and like 16 and pregnant, and I would watch it and be like, because I was so scared. My mom's like, "You're not 16, you're 23." So I couldn't even imagine how a teenager would feel,
Right,
Because
right.
that's how I felt.
Right.
And I think people should obviously wait as long as they can because it's not an easy thing, like being a mom, and you know, you don't want to deprive yourself that young from any experience, you know.
Things happen and they come up, but I think everybody's situation is different.
That's
and
true,
I think that you're right. Some people could be 40 and pregnant, but maybe it wasn't planned, so they feel like they are 15.
Right.
Like, I was not planning on this.
Yeah.
But my advice to anybody is just if you are having sex and you are going to be doing that and you are a teenager, to protect yourself and to educate yourself because nothing is worse than the clap. Nobody wants that. And nobody has time for that. So, I mean, I just feel like we live in a really fast generation. I mean, my little brother, well, he's 19, and like the way that his friends were talking and things that like they were talking about that girls do in their school, I'm like, they do that.
Right.
Crazy.
It's so wild.
They're
It's
growing
very
up
fast.
way too fast now.
Right? Even more so than we were. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I did not know what a blowjob was in high school. I did not know what a
right. I don't
blowjob
know
was.
why
I was like, why would you blow on a guy's
I'm
wiener?
joking, I
Like
didn't
you
do that.
do what?
Which I was like, I did that.
I'm like, me neither.
Right.
So I think it's important. Like, I was too afraid to talk to my mom, and we didn't have that relationship where I was like, Mom, what's a blowjob? Why would you do that? You know, you didn't talk about it. And so I learned about it from my friends in college. I'm like, wait, you do it what with what?
Why would you do
Right.
that? Yeah.
So I think that like find somebody that you can talk to and be comfortable with and educate yourself.
Or like a
and-
sister.
Yeah,
a
definitely
cousin,
communication.
aunt.
Like you need to speak to somebody about something, you know,
Right.
when it comes to that. Like,
Yeah.
you can't leave it in and then you figure it out on yourself.
Do you think that people should trust their friends?
No,
like,
not the
no.
same age. You should probably, you know, do your research. Now we have the internet.
Just reach out. It's just, I knew girls that were 2 years younger than me. We were in high school and they got pregnant, and they've actually become very successful. One's a dental hygienist, and she's pregnant with her second baby. But my heart always goes out to them. I do not like the MTV show, and I'm probably getting hated on this. I feel like they glorify these girls and like make it like this awesome thing. And of course, motherhood is beautiful, and you should embrace that. But finish school and get through your education and hit your goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to judge. I mean, it's hard to see how it works out for them. I mean, they're on a show. They have like all these endorsements. So at the end of the day, you don't really get to see how it really is being that age and being a mom.
Yeah.
It's like you're famous and you're getting like paid to be on all these covers, and then it just goes far, you know?
So changing it up, topic of the day is knowing when to call it quits. Kind of red flags, signs in a relationship. Have you guys experienced this? I want to know the dirt.
Yes.
You go first.
No,
yes.
you go first. No.
Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, let's jello.
You guys are
gonna jello wrestle.
I'm going. I'm going hard. I'm going hard. It's you just keep it with rock and you win.
Every time.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna name names, but
Don't do that.
I want a name.
His
I want a social
name
security
is,
number,
and
his
look for
address.
him.
This is his address.
I know he's probably watching. That's fine. Okay, so I feel like lately, because we were together for I would say like a year, almost a year.
Felt like 2 though, because it was like
we dated for a super long time.
Right.
But we'd fight and then we'd get back together. And I think I was always picking fights with him because maybe he just wasn't what I needed or wanted.
Right.
So we would break up, but I loved him so much. I loved his personality, and just I'm such a deep lover.
Right.
Like I'm so like I love hard. Is what I say.
really
When she goes, she goes hard.
She goes hard. Which is a good quality.
No, obviously not. 'Cause you're like laughing about it.
I go hard too.
too.
I just leave hard too. Be like, where are you?
Deuces in the mouth. So,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
so
So-
this is interesting. So you would pick fights. So you recognized you were doing that.
Yeah, and just because I felt like I didn't want to leave, I wasn't gonna be the one that left, I guess. So like, it just.
Well, you wouldn't pick fights. It was just something that you
Yeah.
needed and you were missing,
Right.
and so it was a reoccurring like, and
Yeah.
then that was a fight again.
So the issue never got fixed, so that's why
Right.
it kept coming up. So then that was your sign, like, we need to fix it. Was it like, we need to fix this, or it just needs to be done?
It just needs to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I think time too kind of
Right.
helps you get through it too, and like just
that's always
realizing
the
maybe you
worst,
didn't.
though.
Yeah, it is.
Getting through that period, I'm pretty emotional out on my social media because I put it all out there, but I always get tweets that's like, how do you get over heartbreak? I'm like, you don't. I don't think you ever really, you get through it and it gets better,
Right.
but honestly, it's like the time that's from the breakup to like the getting better part, that process sucks. Ben and Jerry's it
it's
up. I mean,
hard.
it is
Or
so
if that
hard.
person tries to come back into your life, it kind of recycles that feeling.
It
Right.
reactivates.
Yeah, and then you feel it again, and then you're like, oh great, now I got to go heal again.
Right,
You know.
right.
I
So-
think that we're blessed with personal intuition, and I think that sometimes we fight what we want for like futuristically for what we want right now, and I just have recognized that I do that. I want so badly to be in love and to be happy, and I start justifying these signs that these guys are doing, and then in the end it doesn't work out. And I'm like, duh, Carly, you weren't following your intuition. And so I think if you are feeling sad, if you feel like you're compromising things, you shouldn't have to. I mean, on the larger aspect and scheme of things, if they're little things like he has to be 6'5" with blue eyes and brown, things like that, you know.
That's just not realistic.
Right,
Yeah.
right. In an ideal world, we would like to draw out our perfect man. But what
Right.
about you? What are your
Like, how do I call
What's
it
your
quits?
advice? What's your advice on knowing? Yeah, when would you call it quits or signs?
It's just almost the same. Like when you know you're not getting something that you need or that you want, and maybe they aren't, and
Right.
then you can't give it to them.
Right.
And then it's like a constant battle, and it's like a broken record, and you're like saying it, and then you have to ask yourself, like, like, am I doing this right now? Like, you have to
Self?
respect yourself. You
Yes.
know, it's like I'm not gonna do this. If you want that, I can't. And then if I want this and he can't, then, you know, I love you, you're great, but not for right now.
yeah.
I don't know, I'm kind of cold when it comes to that, and it hurts. I have a lot of pride, so I won't show it, but I just won't
But then later.
talk to you. Like
The ice
forever.
queen. Can you be an ice queen? Like once you
I
write
can.
somebody off, you don't go back. It's
I'm like
just
an ice box.
done.
I'm like,
She is.
I don't even know your name. I'm sorry.
This is so crazy. I
We're
was
like the
talking.
opposite.
I know. I'm like the one that goes back and forth,
Yeah,
and it's like
okay,
stop
yeah.
torturing
But
yourself.
internally, I'm like,
it is
I'm
totally.
crazy. Internally, I'm like,
We all are.
what's going on this Instagram? Who's this?
Michelle, are you
like
following him on
that?
Facebook?
Yeah.
Go look at his
Yes.
Facebook. Who
Oh
is
my
he
God,
with right
try.
now? We've all
True
done
story.
it. We've all done it.
Right.
So, lasting advice. What's your guys' lasting love advice you want to leave with the audience? Any major?
I would say just trust, like you said, trust your intuition. If you feel like it's not something you need or want at that moment, and you're just so in love, kind of step back a little bit and look at the whole picture instead of just what's happening at that moment.
Yes.
I guess.
I love that.
Right. I would say do what makes you happy and what's good for you in the long. I mean, maybe not even in the long run. These could be like little relationships. You could be like 16.
Yeah,
I mean,
help
just
you get to where you need to be.
Right. Just do what makes you happy, and don't make yourself go out of your way to be somebody else for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right. Don't
It
change
shouldn't
who
be
you are.
hard. It's not a job. This is
Yeah.
like, this should be a good thing, you know? You're in a
It should build you
relationship.
up and bring the
Right.
best out of you.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. All right, we got pretty crazy on the love nest. I did say blowjobs. I'm sorry. Please don't tell your moms. We got to keep it real. So my lasting advice to you guys would be, if you are in a relationship and things aren't getting better, make sure that you communicate with your partner. And if you guys cannot sit down and fix that problem right then and there and move forward, it probably is never going to get fixed. So listen to your own intuition, follow your heart, like they said, be happy. Make sure you guys leave love for them in the comments. Go check out their channels. Obviously, they know what they're doing when it comes to beauty.
Thank you.
I love your outfit
I know.
today.
Thanks, guys. So anyways, we love you guys. Thanks for stopping by the Love Nest. Leave comments below for what you want to see in the next show, and we will see you next time. See you later.
Bye, guys.